Tech in 5.
Full stack fast. Master web development essentials in 5 minutes. Last time we turned Docker into a web server. Now let's build the development environment. In our previous session, we successfully set up an Nginx container to serve a simple HTML page. Today, we'll be setting up a separate Docker container specifically designed as a development environment for building a React application. Let's dive into configuring this new development arena and see how it supercharges our project. First, we'll start by creating our React application using Next.js. Next.js not only simplifies the setup with features like automatic routing and server-side rendering, but also boosts our app's performance and SEO right out of the gate. We'll use the create next app command, which sets up everything we need quickly and efficiently. Run this command in the terminal to set up a new project with a default template. In this step, we will simply choose all the default parameters. Once the command completes, you'll see a new directory called blog app with all the necessary files and folders automatically generated for you. This includes the folder structure, configuration files, and even a sample React component. With our application created, we're now ready to configure our development environment in Docker. We need to create a new Docker file tailored for React development. This Docker file will be a bit different from what we used for our Nginx container. We're using Node 22 Alpine, a minimal Node.js image based on Alpine Linux. This choice keeps our image lightweight and fast. Next, we set the working directory inside our container. This is where our application lives, and all subsequent commands will run. Here, we copy package.json and packagelock.json from our project folder into the container. Following that, we install the dependencies. The command run npm install fetches and installs all the necessary Node.js packages defined in our package.json. We then proceed to copy the rest of our application code into the container. This includes all our React components, configurations, and static files necessary to run our application. Before we conclude the setup, we take a proactive step to precompile our Next.js application. This step builds out all the static and server-rendered routes ahead of time. Finally, the command npm run dev sets the default command for our container, which launches the Next.js development server. This allows us to start our app with hot reloading enabled, making our development process smooth and responsive. And there you have it, a Docker file that sets up our development environment. With this configuration, our React application is ready to be developed locally or deployed to any environment. Let's start by building our Docker image. This is where all the setup in our Docker file comes together. Docker build tells Docker to create an image with name blog app. The dot at the end specifies the current directory as the context. Now that our image is ready, let's run it in a Docker container. Docker run starts a new container from our image. It maps port 3000 on the container to port 3000 on our host, allowing us to access the app via a web browser. We also mount the local blog app directory in the container, enabling hot reloading by reflecting code changes in real time. And there you go. Our application is now running inside a Docker container, accessible through our browser, and synced with our local development environment. Now, let's make a quick update to our homepage to see hot reloading in action. We'll change the welcome message, instructing users to start editing the page.tsx file. We'll update this message to warmly welcome users to our tutorial. After saving this change, move back to the web browser window where our app is running. Notice how the page is updated right away. And just like that, we've seen React in action. Now you've just seen how to set up a React development environment using Docker. We started by creating our Reach application, building our Docker image, configuring it specifically to support our application. We then ran our Docker container, mapping our local development files directly into the container, ensuring that any changes we made were immediately reflected in our app. See you in the next video where we'll dive deeper into React and explore how to enhance our application with dynamic content. Thank you for watching and happy coding.
Stay tuned for more videos on Tech in 5.